Global warming is indeed occurring at a much faster rate than prior anticipations that people have had, and will continue to speed up geometrically. It is like a snowball going down a hill. Once it gains momentum, it goes even faster. And it has gained momentum. And so the process is triggering multiple natural occurrences which trigger a global change in the weather patterns and the habitability of different regions of the earth. Today, there are many who want to deny or ignore these changes that are occurring and continue along the path that they have previously set. They want to continue to live life as they have lived it, hoping that they can simply ignore these changes as simply a bad year, poor management, or some type of irrelevancy, and hope that it will go away. So those invested in living the lifestyle that has existed, the fossil fuels, the enjoyment of wealth and position that have fostered the current society, don't want to see that change. And they are reacted to change. Both global change in weather and global change in the movements of populations. But both of these phenomena are unavoidable and cannot be shifted or changed despite the wishes of people. So at this stage, people are reacting to this. Some people are reacting to this situation with denial, while others are reacting with fidgety anxiety about what will occur. No one knows what to do. Those people who try to find solutions find that the situation has quickly outgrown their solutions, and that others are not willing to go to the trouble and expense that those solutions would require. So the situation goes on rapidly increasing like the snowball down the hill, increasing in size and speed. The world is changing. It is changing quickly. The denial of climate disturbances will soon be over, will soon be impossible. Then comes the time when human beings must grapple with an out-of-control situation where the very environment in which they live is becoming inhospitable. People most affected will be on the move. People less affected will be wanting to protect what they have. And tensions will arise about that. So it is impossible to know what will occur. But it is certain that change will occur. The fires in the western portions of the United States, in the southern portions of Europe, will only grow in magnitude. And in other regions of the world, they will begin to spread. The storms, the winds, the rains will also impact many parts of the world, and drought will impact others. As climate begins to become more extreme and less stable, life will become less predictable, and regions will become less able to be inhabited. Population shifting and moving will disturb societies. And the results will be difficult. It is certain that in this crisis, human beings will have to ask themselves what and they can do and how they can manage. And in that, they will need to cooperate with each other. And they will need to form systems and set priorities. That is the reality. If those priorities cannot be set, the result could be very devastating for certain regions of the world. But I think that when there is full recognition of the severity of the situation, that human beings will begin to work together in order to survive. And they will put priority upon those actions which allow them to survive. What can be done about fires? Is not a local problem. What can be done about raging storms and rising waters is not a local problem. What can be done about long droughts and warm winters is not a local problem. It is a global problem. And human beings will have to work together to address the problem. So on a local level, there is recognition beginning to dawn in the Western states that they cannot address the fires as they have addressed them in the past. That what is occurring is of a different and potentially growing situation that does not allow for the kind of reactive response, but requires a proactive response. Fundamental changes in how things are done. And to be sure, people will be meeting to try to understand the magnitude of the growing problem and how to manage it. and great resources will need to be put into that management. And for the eastern states, great resources will need to be put into the management of storms, the building for storms, the ability to survive heavy winds. There is a changing world where people can and cannot live may also change. The difficulty of these circumstances will not be easing, and the solutions will not be found just on a local level. They must be global solutions, and I am confident that the human race has a sufficiently strong desire to survive, to overcome all obstacles, and to work together to unitedly address these problems and reverse the cascade towards destruction, towards change to an inhospitable environment that is now occurring. The management of fire has two aspects. One is the containment in response to the fire. The other is the prevention of the fire to begin. Both levels will need great resources put to them to address the problems. The financial resources will need to be far more extensive. The solutions put forward, natural solutions can be there. The grazing of animals to keep down the grasses. The management of lands. But great resources, both federally and state-wise from each state, will need to be put into these lands. And for that to happen, people must come to recognize that there is a problem that will not go away. And that realization will come shortly. Rest assured, it is truly beginning to dawn on many, and the others will soon follow suit. There is a change occurring. That change cannot be stopped. You worry about who is in office, who is doing this and that, but I am telling you, the forces of change will impact all of this, and the situation will naturally resolve. No country in the world, no place in the world will be unaffected by what is occurring. There are regions that will have less impact, regions that will have more, but everyone will be impacted. The world now is united. The capacity of people is to impact the entire globe. One country, one region cannot be seen as having nothing to do with another. All are part of an integrated whole. What happens to one affects the other. And so human beings are becoming interwoven and interconnected as one tribe, one clan, and the destiny of all is impacted by the actions of all. No country, no region can set itself apart from the rest. And these reactive momentum of nationalism will soon find its resolve. It is the death throes of a certain psychology going on now out of fear of the inevitable. But the inevitable does not listen to the fears of people. It goes on occurring regardless. And the people's fears will not stop it. So at some point they will have to lose their fear, gather their courage, take each other's arm in arm, and stand together to survive. The winds of change demand it. This is part of the spiritual evolution of the Mother Earth, of Gaia, and of all the living beings upon this planet. There is, in the evolution of the planet, stages of development. The consciousness of human beings has attained a level of sophistication and intelligence where human beings are able to produce intelligent machines. They are able to create the abilities of the offspring of Earth have come to a certain stratum of evolution and development, which is critical. Beyond that stratum, the collective spiritual development of human beings expands. Human beings cease to be so uniquely individual, but become part of an integrated whole, a recognition that they are part of one collective consciousness, one collective intelligence, one giant worldwide web of intelligence and information and consciousness, that all people are interwoven and connected, and that interwoven connectedness will grow. And in that solidity of human evolution, the resolution to the reactions of the planet will be found, and a harmony will come with the earth, and a great lesson will be learned by those children of earth, that they must live in harmony and respect with the earth from which they have evolved. They must learn to live in the rhythms of the earth. And so those lessons are being learned now, and they will be of such magnitude that they will affect the very evolution of those to come. But the future of humanity is bright. It is a new dawn, a new day rising, a new beginning. So never fear that the troubles and difficulties mean a cataclysmic end to all life. No. Even life on this planet will survive, grow, and flourish, and evolve. And human beings will evolve to another level where all are working as a collective whole. You will see. It will not be in the far distant future. Change is occurring. Change is now. You will see. You will see. You see the reactivity caused by fear. People are afraid. They see the change and they are afraid. Therefore they want to cling to the past. They want leaders who will cling to the past. They are afraid to address the problems because the problems are too big. But that will change. They must address the problems, and they will. You will see. You will see. It will not take long. Fires burn. People adapt. Are there questions?
Barbara, do you think it makes sense to stay in California where there seems to be such a direct threat?
Do you think that everyone in California can move out of California?
No, but I could. I mean, I don't want to leave. I love this place. I'm just assuming we're protected.
And where will you go? Will you go to North Carolina? Will you go to Oregon?
Right.
Where will you go where you will not be impacted?
Well, apart from the kind of chilly winters in New Jersey, seldom does anything cataclysmic happen.
Winters,
a couple of years ago.
Winters that are many degrees below zero and colder and longer would not impact you.
Yes, of course.
Some places it's a little slower, but the impact will be there.
Yes.
You can run from one place to another, but ultimately you cannot run away.
Of course.
And there, it is not the problem of California alone, the fires. It is the problem of the western states.
Yes.
And the eastern states, the lower states, have the storms. But the upper states are cold. They could become much colder.
I see. Thank you.
They could become warmer, and they could become colder.
Mm-hmm.
And that could happen
And perhaps
quickly.
both.
And then where will you go from there? You see, it goes on. So you will have to see. Yes, you can find a place a little safer for now. But the overall situation is not one that can be run from. People in general are trying to run from it, aren't they? They're trying to ignore it. It will go away next year. Next year might be a little better than this year, but the year after may be much worse. Overall, it is a difficult situation. And next year, the year after, you don't know. All right?
Thank you so much.
Better to put your energy into finding positive ways for people to adapt and live in harmony with the nature that they are with, so that the fires do not have the impact that they have had. All right?
Yes, I think that's why many of us are out here, because there are so many like-minded souls who are willing to come together to assist.
Yes. All right. All right.
Thank you.